What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Demon Hunter. Yes, indeed, Demon Hunter fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Brian Savino, and this is actually Brian's prioritized request for the month of May for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Brian. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Brian wanted to see me react to this song by Demon Hunter called In Time. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, hold on a second, yeah, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Solid State Records, okay? And the video has 470,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Demon Hunter In Time. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
They really are hitting 4 different time feels. So they're getting halftime, they're getting straight time, they're getting double time, and they're getting quadruple time with snare hits on every 8th note. Wow. Some great variants. Okay. when you play with feel with as much of a variety as you have there, with 4 different feels happening, I guess some people could say they're changing feel pretty quickly. I see their point. I do, and I'm not listen. I'm not going to sit there and say they're not, because they are. But I think they're staying on the field just long enough that it gives the listeners a chance to get into it, lock into it, and enjoy it before they switch gears again. They're walking a fine line. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They are walking a fine line. If they were to switch more frequently than they're doing already, that would be a train wreck. That would be a problem. But they are staying with each field just long enough, I feel anyway, that it gives the listener a chance to get into it, establish it, feel it, and groove to it. So I'm not knocking them for it. I think that's pretty impressive, actually, that they're able to work 4 different feels into one song. And we're only 1 minute and 50 in. We're only like halfway through. We're not even halfway through the song, and we've already had 4 different feels established. That's pretty cool. And they're doing them well. They're definitely doing them well. Call me crazy, but I'm kind of getting a vibe from them. And I've made a comparison to this band before in the past with Artificial Light. I gave them the comparison to Soilwork. I'm going to make another comparison to Soilwork here. Not so much from a stab in the drama standpoint, but more Sworn to a Great Divide. I was not the biggest fan of that album. That album, to me, vocally, I wasn't the biggest fan of that album. Musically, I thought the songs on that album were fine. But vocally, I thought Bjorn's vocals were very heavily filtered. A lot of extra special effects, phone filter, AM radio filter, static filter, a lot of filter nonsense that, in all honesty, I don't feel any of the songs really called for, except maybe 1 or 2 of the songs. But I just felt like every single song on that album had at least 1 or 2 filters on it. And it just, to be honest with you folks, that ruined the entire album for me. I was not a fan of that album. But I'm getting a lot of the same vibes on this song. A lot of filter work. Now, when the filters come off and it's just grit and growl, I like that. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of pure grit and growl, it sounds good here. And his vocals are not pure grit and growl. They have a melodic undertone to them. But the minute you slap on like the AM radio or the phone effect filter, whatever filter is that they're using, I don't know which one it is, but whenever they put the filter on, it just, to me, it takes the grit and growl and turns it from a 7 to a 13. You know what I mean? It's like, why? You've already got a strong grit and growl. You don't need the filter to make it more gravelly. You really don't. He's got a good one already. So I think the filter is a waste. I think the filter is pointless. And to be honest with you, I feel like the filter is a distraction. Because once the filter comes off, it sounds really good. Like, really good. So, I don't know. I don't know how, I know I don't like it. I know I don't like it at all, personally. And to be honest with you, even looking at it objectively, I don't see the point. I really don't. But in any case, let's get back into it. See that? You can hear the difference there. When he did the grit and growl, there was no filter on that grit and growl. There was none. But the minute he went to clean melodic singing, they put the filter back on. It's like, dude, why? Why would you do that? I mean, especially on the melodic singing. I don't understand. I don't understand the logic. It just doesn't make sense to me. Anyone outside? I feel tomorrow will eclipse today. I like the melodic singing. We will erase it guitar solo was good. I mean, it was good arpeggios. It was good sweep picking that was being done. My only complaint about the guitar solo, it was very one-dimensional. That's all it was arpeggiations and sweep picking on the arpeggiations. And like I said, it's cool. It's nice. It was well done, but it was very one-dimensional. I don't know about that one. I don't know if I like the guitar solo or not. And like I said, it was well done. It was clean. It was good. I wish the guitar player had taken it in other directions other than just sweep picking on the arpeggiations. I mean, that's all it was, and it's like, I mean, fine. I mean, I guess it's okay. Here's what it ultimately breaks down to. I guess it's better to be a one-trick pony than a no-trick pony. You know what I mean? I guess it's better to have at least one trick than no tricks. So, yeah, fine. Oh, I see why. Okay. So what are they going to do with the acoustics to end? Don't fade the acoustics. Hit the final chord and just let it ring. Right here. Coming up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, we gotta wrap it up, guys. Come on. Don't beat a dead horse. 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm not a fade again. You're gonna pull 2 fades on one song? Really? Ah, 2 fades on one song. Why? Why 2 linear fades? I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. The ending. Yeah. This song is going to be weird for me because there were some highs. There were some great highs. And then there were some lows. Some real lows. God. It's going to end up being a wash. I'm going to have to take each individual part and weigh them against each other. I hate doing that. I really do. Because then it becomes nitpicking, and I don't want to nitpick. I really don't. Anyway, all right. I'll do it. Let me get my thoughts together. I'm seriously going to have to take everything I liked, every individual thing I liked, and weigh them against every individual thing I didn't like. And they're going to have to basically have a battle royale. And I got to figure out which ones are more important, which ones hold more weight. And it's just, it's going to be a while. It's going to take me at least 20, 30 minutes to figure this out. Great. All right. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Demon Hunter with In Time. This was a request from Brian Savino, and this was actually Brian's prioritized request for the month of May for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So, There you go, Brian. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. This was a roller coaster. I literally had to take the song apart and weigh each individual thing against each other. And if you guys know anything about me, you know I hate to do that because sometimes I'll do it and it ends up getting a score or a rating that I just don't necessarily agree with or I even like giving. But at the end of the day, after weighing the scales, that's how it equates out. And I always feel like the song gets a little chinced, and or sometimes it gets a boost that it doesn't deserve. But that's how it works, unfortunately. So, I'm just gonna warn everybody right now, and I'm just gonna say this: I don't agree with the score. I mean, on a personal level, I would like to give the score. I would like to give it a different score, personally. But looking at it objectively, after weighing everything against itself, as much as I'd like to give it a different score, I can't. I have to give it what it earned. So, let's get to it, shall we? Oh boy, let's rip off the Band-Aid. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that a 7.2. Yeah, 7.2. I don't feel good about it, but that is the score that I feel the song deserves. Let me tell you why.
Why?
First things first, 7.2. What does that mean? Well, a 7.2 would translate to a really good scale rating. Okay, so there's that. It would get 4 out of 5 stars, and it would get a B letter grade. A B. Just a B. Not a B plus, a B. So there you go. 7.2, really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with this score? So glad you asked. For the record, I dug the song. I enjoyed the song overall. I enjoyed it personally way more than that 7.2. Personally, like if I was being subjective instead of objective, I would put this up in the very high 7, 7.8, 7.9, somewhere in there. Maybe, possibly 8.0, 8.1. I could see that happening. Unfortunately, I had to weigh everything against itself, and So, let's start with the good stuff, all right? The play with feel. Now listen, I know there's going to be a lot of people who could have the argument of they were switching feel way too often, way too quickly. They were utilizing way too many feels. First of all, I disagree with that last statement. I absolutely disagree. With a song like this, at the tempo they were at, the feel that they were at, the drive and the energy that the song had, the direction the song was taking, I think playing around with 4 feels was just fine. I have no argument with that at all. So I absolutely disagree with that argument. The other arguments of switching too frequently, I see their point. I do. I can absolutely see the argument being made for that. Personally, though, again, I disagree. And objectively, I disagree. I think if they had taken it further and they had switched more often, more frequently, with less time in between, I think the argument would have been absolutely valid. And I would have agreed with it because they were walking a fine line. I'm not gonna lie, man. They were walking that razor's edge of, switching frequently and not giving the listener a chance to get into the groove with each switch. But they didn't do that. They sided on the side of caution when it came to that part, and I personally think they did give the listener a chance to find the groove, find the feel, establish the feel, and get into the new groove before they would switch it up again. I think they did a great job with that. I do. I know people are going to disagree with me. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Personally, I think they did a fine job with it. I have no complaints about it. The chordal pattern they came up with, the chordal progression, sounded really nice. We're in B, my second favorite key of all time. Love it. I think the vocal work, okay, the vocal work's a double-edged sword. On the plus side, I love the vocals themselves. What was sang, how it was sang, where it was sang, the strategic placement and usage of grit and growl with clean vocal. I think the balance was great. 60 to 65% melodic singing versus 35 to 40% grit and growl. And even the grit and growl had melodic undertones. So I got no issue with anything that was happening within the vocals themselves. I, in particular in the chorus, loved the chorus. The chorus was my favorite part of the song, hands down. There was something else I wanted to talk about that I really enjoyed. What was it? Oh, the instrumentation sounded great. I mean, instrumentally, everybody sounded like they did a fine job. Guitars, bass, drums, really nice job. Special shout out to the drummer, making each feel change clear and well set up. You didn't have to search very far. He set up very clearly defined patterns, and the fills and the setups for each pattern change was really well done. Bass and guitar did a fine job playing. I had no issue with anything the guitar players did and the bass player did during the course of the song, except one section, which we're going to talk about right now, actually. So those are the things I really enjoyed about the song. Okay, I dug the direction, I love the feel, I love the vibe, I love the energy, I love the drive. Playing around all those different feels, the vocal work itself, the actual vocals, really nicely done. Kind of giving me feelings of Soilwork once again, especially in particular the album Sworn to a Great Divide. Now let's talk about the things that personally and objectively I was put off by. First of all, the guitar solo. Now look, I wouldn't go as far as to say I was turned off by the guitar solo. Okay, the guitar solo was nice. It was done well, it was cleanly executed, and he did show off some nice technique when it came to the sweep picking arpeggios. Now here's the thing. All it was sweep picking arpeggios. No tapping, there was no bends, it was just purely arpeggiations in a sweep picking style. I did make the parallel of it's better to be a one-trick pony than a no-trick pony. And here's the thing, I know these guitar players can do far more than that. So why was the decision made to have the guitar solo be nothing but arpeggiated sweep picking? I don't know. I don't understand that, because they are very talented guitar players and they can do far more. Maybe they just felt like that's what the song called for. Okay, fine, I guess, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. The vocals, the filters on the vocals. Why? Especially on grit and growl. Are you kidding me? You add a vocal filter like an AM filter or a phone filter or a fuzz filter, any kind of filter over grit and growl vocals to intensify and make it grittier. You're not taking the grit and growl from a 6 to a 7. You're taking the grit and growl that's already at a 6 and you're putting it up to 11 or 12. It just doesn't make sense. And I'm sitting here listening to it going, why? I mean, he's already doing grit and growl. There's no reason to put a filter on it. If you're gonna put a filter on it, put it on the clean vocal, strategically, smartly, infrequently, sparsely use it to make a point, that an impactful point within the song. Sure, yeah, it makes sense. I don't have a problem with filters. I have a problem with filter usage, specifically overusage or unstrategic usage. Let's just throw a filter on there just for the sake of throwing it on there. It's like a kid at Christmas with a brand new toy. They're gonna play with it and 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 play with it, and then 3 days later they'll be tired of it and they're never gonna play with the dang toy ever again. But that's the point though, and that's what I'm trying to convey here. In this song, it just felt like they discovered a new toy. Oh, we discovered vocal filters. Let's slap it on there for absolutely no reason whatsoever, just because we can do it. Why? It just doesn't make sense. But in any case, they did it. Like I said, I liked the vocals. I didn't like the vocal filters. I didn't say any reason for them. I really didn't. Maybe in like the first or second verse, when the clean vocal came in, setting it up into the pre-chorus or into the chorus, maybe use it once, not 5 times, 6 times in the first half of the song. It doesn't add up. It's pointless. And at the end, ultimately, personally, I felt like it was a distraction. The ending. Oh, man. 2 linear fades. 2 consecutive linear fades. Why? Why? That doesn't make any sense. Here's what they should have done. This is just how I personally feel, and I know a lot of people are going to agree with me on this. Take those last chords, the first half of the ending with the electric guitars, right? Hit the final chord on the downbeat of 1. Just hit it, and let not linear fade. Just let it decay. Just let it decay. That's different than a linear fade where they continue to play. They continue to play. They continue to play. And someone takes a slider on the mixing board and slides it down, or they just they use it digitally and do a linear fade on a 12-second long linear fade, but they continue playing the riff as it's fading. I'm talking about hitting a note, bam, just hitting a chord, and no linear fade, nothing. Just leave it alone. Don't touch it. Just let it naturally decay. And then bring in the acoustic guitars, bring it in. I got no problem with that. I think that would be fun. I think that would be well done. I think that would be a great choice. And that's the choice I would have personally picked. The other option would have been to pull the linear fade on the electric guitars, have them keep riffing, have them keep playing the riff, hold the linear fade, bring in the acoustics, bring them up, and then let them play, and then they hit the final chord. Bling, and just that extended strum, the elongated strum, and just let that naturally decay. I think that would have been a far smarter choice. I still personally would have rather seen the first choice. Second choice wouldn't have been a bad one though. I would have had no issue with it either. But instead, they pull linear fade number 1, bring in the acoustics right underneath it, and then a second linear fade. Do you guys have any creativity? Don't you guys have any imagination? Are you really gonna just mimic one ending with the other? It just doesn't. It shows lack of vision, man, if anything. And not only that, but it's again one-dimensional. And I don't like it. I don't like that ending. It's almost to the point of being contradictory to itself. It's like, well, we did one ending, we weren't thrilled with it, so we're gonna do the exact same ending again, just with a little different instrumentation. Thanks a lot. And that's how we ended up coming down from what could have possibly been an 8.0 to an 8.1. That's how we came all the way down to a 7.2. I hate it when I'm put in these positions where I have to literally weigh every individual thing against each other. I do think the good outweighed the bad. I do, but the bad did have an impact. Not as horrifically bad as it could have been. The things that I didn't like were not like mega important compared to the other things, other parts of the song, that the more positive parts of the song, but they did have an impact nonetheless. So that's how we ended up at a 7.2. I really wanted to give this a higher score, I did, but no, gotta be objective. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We got a 7.2, real good scale rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.